Those are like one of the worst things that can happen to you.
Yeah, they do.
And then for some reason, you have to look for this person to give them their wedding.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Creative Chaos Stream. My name is DJ Bush, baby. And of course, I'm here with Josh, the fixer.
The one and only.
Recently rebaptized Apostle.
Apostle Joshua.
Apostle Joshua.
Yes.
Yes, and of course, today we are
You
incredibly, again, humbled to have another great man of this land. Today we're going to discuss all matters comedy. We want to explore that intricate space of being a comedian. You're funny all the time, whether you like it or not. And people depend on you, people dwell on you for happiness, for joy, to carry on, to move on. And, you know, they are therapists in a way.
To face life.
Exactly. Stay alive in the face, okay? Yes, this is Isaac Kuddzu.
No, that's the wrong one.
What you say, Amanya? I didn't see the Gazette.
No. It's Kuddzu.
That's it.
Kuddzu.
Kuddzu. How do you spell it?
Kuddzu.
Anti-colonial.
Kale.
Hey.
Regardless, you're welcome.
Mlindo muongo.
This is good. So we want to explore your space, and please know that you're here on behalf of that entire space. I want Omara to see this and say, yes, that guy has represented. I want Salvador to watch this and be like, yes, our man represented. I want Pablo to look at this and be like, yes. Kansime to look at this and be like, yes. Gaya chikiride.
You will speak about Kansime's... Okay, before we go any further, we have a trauma wall.
Yes.
Let's start from here.
Josh, yes.
For dramatic...
It was right to call you the apostle. Because this Jadwong, he was
for dramatic
stupid, man.
Okay, we have a trauma wall. These are things that happen to us. And I think we are the most... we are the people who suffer excusitis. That's what I call it. We have so many excuses. Which of these have given you trauma in your career?
Relatably.
Tofayo Sente Zija.
Tofayo Sente Zija, what's the story?
Tofayo Sente Zija is, and I think it's a mannerism that most of our, should I say, agencies, production houses have encapsulated.
Sabula.
You understand?
Sabula, it's okay.
How do you expect, really? This is my way of survival. But I have got to wait, 6 months to no end. Tofayo Sente Zija. How am I running other things in my life that are supposed to be paid for?
Unfortunately, that's what we subscribe to.
No, I think we have let it happen. That's one of the things that I wish we would come together as a body, creative body, and try to reverse.
Bro.
No.
We are getting too serious too soon.
No.
You're a comedian.
Listen up.
I am loose.
Yeah.
I am loose. Totally loose. And by the way, this is the best thing to get. Okay. This is the thing. I know there are tie-ups here and there. You understand? But it's just a good thing to, the fixer has come and he has worked. You understand? Again, after this, how is he supposed to carry on with life and probably put his projects on the road?
Yeah.
So that's where the Tofayo Sente Zija.
Is it a question of us not being educated?
No.
In a sense that the finance guys know their role. Okay?
To pay.
For them, their role is to pay.
Tasula.
So, Fabali Mobwangu, we are impatient. We the creatives, we the people who supply the service. We we offer service. For example, you go and you offer voiceover, you do a voiceover, you do a skit and all that. Never gamba Tofayo Sente Zija. Is it a question of not managing expectations?
No.
To the best of our ability? Or we are victims of something
we are victims.
Who probably don't know.
We are victims, yes. I want to think that
I've never seen myself as a victim.
No, we are. Sometimes it's okay to live in denial, by the way.
I'm in denial.
For some reason, everybody has made it become or look like this is the status quo. I mean, this is the way things are done.
It's normalized.
Do you understand? But is it the right thing to do? I would say no.
Definitely
Do you understand? The funny thing for me is how, before the project, you're a priority. After the project, you're an option.
You're coming from a master class. Trust me. You're coming. We've crossed that road. Yes.
You sent a post. Again, I think the other week, similar to that. Where doing business in Uganda will make you appreciate that offering a service.
Yeah, does not mean pay is going to be prompt, but the service is needed.
No.
In the now.
Yes.
So you see, this is just a tip, creative to creative. Payment is priority. Make sure you don't leave that bracket from start to finish. Do not leave the priority bracket. That's it.
How about if they're subjecting you to that bracket?
No.
If you permit it, I think.
It has taken me
If you permit
17 years to understand that I can say no at any one time. I have no commitment. I don't make commitments for no.
As my bro here.
Yeah, that's it. For me, that's it. And it has worked. If someone really wants to work with Kuddzu, it's going to be Kuddzu. Center maker. Milioni 15. Yeah, okay. Na ye, koza 15, pake chitundu. Commit. Right? Now committing. But even in the commitment, since it's creative work, it's intellectual property. It's without it, there's no way to protect yourself. Okay? So I'll give you a watermark in that radio ad. Yes. Until you finish the 50. Because I don't want to leave the priority bracket being paid. That's it.
So
I used to do weddings. Those are like one of the worst things that can happen to you.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just shooting there, and then for some reason you have to look for this person to give them their wedding.
No, if
you understand.
Even when actually at the venue
to be paid
at the venue, bro. At the venue, I mean, you get there. And now, for a few seconds there, or rather for a few hours while the wedding runs, you are the man.
That's it. Yeah, you're the MC.
But the moment you are like, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight, and thanks so much for giving this wedding quite the feel. You have been such a great crowd. Good night. Now it starts becoming cat and mouse game.
Wait. True story.
Yeah.
I looked for a bride to pay me with her video in my hands. Then Basanganga, they broke up.
You're part of the collateral.
I'm bringing bad memories.
As far as the breakup is concerned.
So anyway, I'm sorry that this is happening to you.
No. I have since found a way around it.
Okay.
I have since found a way around it.
But
I know it for a fact that it is. I could have found a way around it.
Earlier?
But most of the guys that are around me that are doing the job that I'm doing have a lot of this going because they do not know how to put their feet down and say, I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Yes, it is what it is.
So how's comedy currently?
Well, comedy is amazing. I don't know where you stand, but I want to believe that we are in a very, very, very good place as we are right now.
Yeah.
I've
met people who don't understand stand-up comedy, and I'm like,
what do you mean?
Like, people don't understand stand-up comedy. Like, they don't find you guys funny. They don't find Trevor Noah funny. So how do you get? There are people like that.
Unfortunately, we were not blessed with the ability to include ingredients that people missed at creation.
Like?
I mean, how come A is saying I cannot understand stand-up comedy, but Josh is like, oh my God, my ribs are hurting. So if you as the stand-up comic carry that burden on your shoulder, you're done for.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is concentrate and focus on the few. I think one of the biggest problems that we do have as performers is wanting to kubebi sawe. Before.
rather than
The gospel of comedy.
rather than specialize and
Yes,
and
specialize.
niche,
Have niches.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can do theater.
theater is good enough.
Specials.
Yes. Theater is good enough.
How come you guys don't do specials?
There are guys who are doing specials.
La Bonita, Uganda, Kampala.
No, guys are doing specials.
You should take Wazo Dazo.
Matter of fact, yesterday,
Someone taped a special?
yes, Akite did a special.
Like,
Are
Agnes
they,
Akite.
are they taped for onward publication?
Yes.
Or
that's nice.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Actually, just because people haven't been paying attention, and I would say it's because of probably also the society that we leech on to a phrase and we forget to unlearn it and learn something new. But nowadays, people are calling their shows specials. We had Dr. Hillary. He had a special recently as well.
I've seen Okello.
Yes.
Joshua.
Hillary.
No, Joshua.
Okello.
Okello, yes.
Yeah, Okello. Okello is amazing. He has been.
I've seen his thing at the theater. Yeah. He's
Isn't
good.
it amazing that he fills up that place to the brim?
Dude, that I mean, it's amazing, but also I know the work behind it.
Yes.
It's not a joke. You know what I appreciate about the internet today? Free humor. If we sit here and open our TikToks, we'll be laughing immediately. But that is curated
Yes.
humor. Like, it's from all over the world.
Yes.
Now you, as someone who does this for a living, I've always wanted to know, are you always switched on? Is there like pressure to be funny?
No. There is no pressure whatsoever.
Alimba.
No. I will be factual. And I'm not taking jabs at anybody. I just
you
want
can,
to
you
be,
can. This is creative chaos.
I just want to be as honest as it is. Comedy is one of the many industries that we do have around. And unfortunately, like all the other industries, all the other sectors, we have been infiltrated with mediocres. I mean, there are pieces that you watch, there are pieces that I can't stand beyond 3 seconds. I'm like under pressure to be funny. But there are those
Slapstick.
no, slapstick is an honorable form of comedy and thoroughly thought through.
Yes.
But there are those that
Pressure to be funny.
yes.
Umulabula binogamba.
Nonyayo akantu kenateka kumutimbagano. You understand? And properly not thought
Can you
through.
call them PTFs?
In English, please?
Pressure to be funny?
So these are your would-be TikTokers.
Yes.
Those instant overnight sensations.
And even stand-up comics.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been to nights, and I'm looking at a duo, I'm looking at a dude, and I'm like, I feel pain for the other guys who are consuming it, and
But you know.
me, I can wrap my head around it, and I'm like, can they comprehend that he's agezesa? You understand? But there's a beauty about it, and that beauty is called time. That eventually we begin to have it weed out. The would-be would stay, will stay. The ones that were ngezesako, badayo
So-
munkoko.
Who supplies you guys with happiness?
With happiness.
Who do you go to for?
What entertains us is the life around us. Because three quarters of the time.
Never date a writer.
3/4 of the time.
Jalaga,
3/4 of the time, you guys are looking at life the serious way.
And you guys?
I don't know. I think it's being wired that way. I'm trying to find the funny beats out of it all. Like, it can't be that serious. So
no one gets out alive.
One of my greatest, I think, and it's with all of us, one of our greatest virtues is observation.
People watching.
I
like that a lot.
I don't even pay attention to it, but I'll see it and I'll be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course, as an aspiring writer, I was told that watch people.
Yes.
Yeah, and I found it very interesting. The ogenda mchidula, and you begin watching. Someone who came in at a certain time behaves differently at another time.
Yes.
Like, hey, so it's like now character growth over actual character we are seeing now happening.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is nice to watch.
And that is when you start putting spin-offs.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You start watching a character, and then you spot another, and you spot another, and then in your brain, you start creating a world.
A cast.
Yeah.
You're like, how about if this guy
Meets the other one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one comes in. you
Apostle
understand?
Joshua. Meets Kudu.
Exactly.
At Chadondo. Morokonyi.
Ewa mama kanyanyao.
But anyway, I wanted
Yes.
to find out, do you have creative blocks? And how do you handle them if they are there?
They are.
Like
Tigana,
when jokes are
Tigana.
not landing, you write.
They are. They are.
No punchlines.
They are real. Creative blocks are real.
Do you go broke or what?
No, you of course save for drier days.
Okay. Oh,
yes.
very
Yes.
Okay.
You save for drier days. I mean, there are times when you are firing on all cylinders. You are like Schwarzenegger. You understand? Let them go and do research. Do not even be under the pressure to break down. Which is one thing that I like. Do you realize, you guys, that these days we are under the impression that everybody in the room is supposed to find to understand us, to understand us in the moment.
Yes.
I mean, that you are doing yourself a disservice. But get a homework. Drop.
Okay. Schwarzenegger. Young guys, look up Schwarzenegger, Commando. Watch the movie. Anyway,
Exactly.
we proceed.
So
How do you handle creative? Yeah.
So you have, there are times when you have a lot coming through, and you shelve that one. You have a granary in your phone. You understand?
A gallery of sorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you go
granary, like, okay, yeah. A charge.
a charge, so you have a granary there with your possible
Small comebacks.
yes. So those times when
Sigaye.
Ngogendayo.
go oze ku Pentium 1 RAM is you go back and you're like, hey, by the way, it's,
There's
I have
this.
this thing I wrote about 8 months ago. How? What do you look at it?
So you have the discipline of what can I call it? Of a joke bank.
Yes, you have got to.
That's nice.
How long did it take you to have that? I mean, to learn that. As in,
The group that I belong to, it comes as second of nature.
okay.
Yeah.
No. As an individual, okay, Kudu, the individual. How long did it take you to know that I think I need a joke bank?
Okay.
Something for a dry day, as you said earlier on.
Let me break it down for you. The group that I belong to, it comes as second nature. We meet every day of the week.
What?
Monday to Thursday. It's a full-time job. You understand? So you cannot come to a brainstorm, to a creative session, and you're the empty one. You're the empty team.
Yeah.
You understand? And for us, actually, for Fun Factory, actually, it is much easier because because it's much easier because you have about 17 other heads to bounce off with.
Yeah.
But ngomuntu, like a person, I mean, you can't come on Tuesday empty. Tuesday, empty. Monday, rather Wednesday, empty. And you also feel I'm doing a disservice to the larger group.
Yeah.
So now
That discipline explains that, as once neighbors with that Wanje, your group mate.
Yes.
And he used to leave the house every day in the morning, comes back in the evening. Every day. I was like, okay, has he got a 9 to 5 somewhere? Kumbe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
that's what you take
I
it.
mean,
I like.
Bush, you can you can remember that you remember there are times when I used to come for my radio show and sometimes way past time.
Yes.
You understand? And everybody was like, what does he keep doing? You understand?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't intend, but there is something that I'm so passionate to.
Yes.
That I have
There's a
got
commitment.
to feed. Yes.
Yes.
And you know it that when it came to time of choosing,
Push came to shove.
yes, when what I would rather,
Effortlessly
I
walked
was
away.
like, this is
Bye-bye.
good, I love it, but I mean, the thrill is the other side. So anyway, it is one of those things that you are supposed to get yourself to learn, because we are humans. You wake up one day and today the landlord is on your case. And if you, those people that like to have the mamas around, you have about 4 in your case. You understand? And it's that same brain that is supposed to come up with stuff that is going to go out there as a product for people to pay for. So how do you rip your brain up for all that? So notes are a very great fallback for any comedian.
How do you process a joke that has tanked? Let's share with us a one-time real life example when a joke tanked.
You mean dying?
Yes, on
I
stage.
won't lie to you. I won't lie to you.
And how do you tell? And how do you tell?
You're not lying to us. There's an audience.
I know. I'm not lying. Those who know
Tell
this,
them. I'm not
And
going to lie to you.
how do you become guilty? Like when does the guilty
unfortunately,
like
they
oh
are
shit?
part of this. They can't. We're together.
When do you have that oh shit moment? Oh shit, kaganye.
Now,
No.
I'll tell you, I had a real life experience of that. Many people don't want to accept it, but I mean, it's part of the trade.
What was the punchline?
It wasn't even a punchline. It was one punchline killed the whole set. You understand?
Wow.
Because for those people that know me,
I don't envy your job, bro.
for those people that know me, know that I started out as a stand-up comic. I mean, I did brilliant pieces out there, but then there was this one time that I wrote a great piece, but my climax was about a date.
A banja.
No.
A date.
A date, yes. Chick, dude. And as I was
You've racked it
spewing
today.
out my great narratives about this whole thing, there was a dude out there.
On a
To
date.
him it was real life.
Whoa.
Personal.
Yes. Personal. That guy, unfortunately, he was like second row from the stage.
In the
now.
audience?
Yes. He's like, Unjakaza Chigwefala. What? Because the chick I was talking about was a waitress. It was nice. It was smart. But this guy took it personal. I lost it at that moment.
Caught you off guard.
Totally, because I was like, I just made this up in my mind, and actually, I fine. Sometimes you come and you expect the audience to hit back at you and stuff like that, but the nice way.
Yeah.
This I realized in that performance that I was actually it felt like I was divulging a real person's
Life. Private life.
And let me tell you what happens. Number one. The one thing that I know for a fact that will never stand with you in hard times is your saliva.
It dries up.
That thing dries. That thing called the mouth dries. You'll begin.
Start choking.
You don't choke. You can't choke on
Saliva
what?
just goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the throat is dry, so you.
Then you start to feel dust Like and then you go on because in your mind you think I can bring this back.
Oh, that's you trying to
salvage
You're
the
like,
whole situation.
I can
The
salvage
moment,
this
yeah.
moment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's like a quicksand. You keep going deeper. You know, if you're on a quicksand, you're like, but it's taking you. It's actually engulfing you. So that's what it feels like dying on stage.
It's very rampant in the corporate world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an art to typing a sad email, a rough email. There's an art to it. Like, as in, people are so fragile. I watch Fun Factory. But I know for a fact that we have fragile politicians.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't say anything that is...
Even personalities. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, we have politicians who have fragile personalities. So, guy yenga liao fake. Nino malomkola muka skit kambwe kati ya kuchima.
The greatest comedy is if I'm telling stories about myself. Those are the best.
Nobody's going to be sensitive about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me, and I am pouring myself out there in very vulnerable amounts.
Nobody's going to feel sensitive about your content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people are going to look at it and, they're like, you're kidding me. Right?
Yeah, true.
Oh, he also goes through that?
Yes, exactly. Then there is another extent where, of course, I have observed and seen stuff. So that is where wisdom comes in.
How do you self-censor?
Where, what is the boundary?
Between edgy and sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only way I handle such situations is if I don't believe it, if I don't believe in it, if it's not part of
Doesn't appeal.
Yeah, if it doesn't appease me,
Yeah.
it is not worth it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Might appease you. Yeah. For example, you might share a joke about marriage.
Marriage, yes.
Yeah.
What about marriage?
And then somebody out there is like, hey, could you really say this about? Bakuita kuba nyo these days. Akubye nyo. Which means it appeases you, but someone else chamisiza musi bulungi.
No, you will notice. You'll notice when a joke lands, the reaction. And I believe most times while you're creating, you have boundaries that you can stretch. You know what to pull, depending on the reaction. If the reaction is ha, 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 that's a moment for you to pick a bottle of water and let it sit.
Let it sink. And
if they keep looking at you,
they're demanding for more.
You're like, okay, that is when I pull this.
Punchline.
Yes, that's when I pull. I further the joke this way.
What is the hardest, to pull off between ethnic jokes, political jokes, and social commentary?
Ethnic,
political and social.
It's politics.
Hardest.
Yes.
Sensitive politicians.
Because people are overly sensitive.
No, selectively sensitive.
No.
Obagamba nti, by the way, no politician is going to go out alive from life. To be this.
They're selectively sensitive because
Let's not be
if you dig a
sensitive.
skit on stolen mabati,
Yes.
honestly,
No, this is the funny
it's in
thing.
the public domain.
This is the funny thing. You notice that our social fabric has been reduced to colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is yellow, there is red. I'll stick to those two because that right now looks like those are the ones that stand out in the hue. But you notice that when you're doing a joke about red, yellow will be laughing out loud.
Then you turn the guns.
Then you go to
The pens.
you go to yellow.
And you crack one.
And then they come at you. You understand?
Have you ever done this as therapy?
For myself?
Yeah. Life struggles, blah, 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 blah. So much. And then like, you know what? Let me do comedy for therapy.
No.
To cope.
No. I am trying to find, maybe you're actually saying the right words. Because part of my journey, or part of my original calling, was to be a teacher. But when I stood in that class for 1 week,
What is student teacher?
no,
A proper teacher.
professional teacher.
Osmosis.
No. People say teaching something, and on the other hand, I was trained to impart the secrets of design. Yeah, fine art, industrial fine art stuff.
Bifa.
Yeah. So, when I stood in that class, I looked at these 4 walls and 60-something kids, and I felt like my space had been invaded.
Drama.
I felt like it had become a routine after 1 week. So I decided right there, I actually told my late mother, this, I think, was supposed to be for you to prove to your friends Now me, I am going to also
Teach differently.
to much larger classes.
Yes.
These are really small classes. Yeah. So I think you're right when you say I came to it as a mode of therapy.
Yeah.
It drowned me. I felt so There's no I cannot describe how I felt, but I felt like
You just didn't belong. You didn't belong.
Why did I study all those years if I didn't belong? I should have.
Someone said that the biggest joke. Someone said the biggest joke that government's pull is making you study for 20 years and never giving you jobs. That's
your point has landed home, Apostle.
Currently, where the industry is, I like when you walked in and the positive attributes of I want you to verify that with what's in the bank. Okay?
Do you have money?
Number one. We are mzuri.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Can we collaborate that with what's in the bank?
Yes.
Number two, I don't want to know how much it is, but number two, currently, what are the available other opportunities around what you guys have created? It's been what, since Stand Up Uganda?
2009.
2009, before that, the Chamlabis and who. We've really come a long way. Alex Mukulu. What are the other available opportunities currently in that space without necessarily being the guy under the ring light?
And I'll start with the last question. I mean, if you're a comedian now,
yeah, that comes last. that comes last. Okay.
I'll start with the last question. Yes. If you're a stand-up comedian, you have a special or you have a production like ourselves. I mean, at Fun Factory, you keep seeing these 15, 13 faces over and over. But the amount of weight being carried behind those slides on stage is ginormous. I mean, the numbers. We have people, we have carpenters.
Nice.
That live off what we do.
Set designers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have, you want to call them set? No, these are carpenters. They're the ones who are hammering the nails. Then there is an apostle who is the set designer.
You
understand the difference? Yeah. That these ones.
Carpenter.
But the person who puts together carpenter chagendo or different.
3D renders,
all those. You understand the amount of people that we need behind. I mean, we have a person on light. These days, we also do no longer take for granted sound. We need sound engineers there. I mean, there are times when we have spoken to Jude Mugerwa. What can we do about our sound? There are times when we have worked with Fenon and Steve Jean has come all out to help with the sound. There's a young man called Michael, the lights guys, everything. For example, like everything for your case, everything that the musician needs in the background, we need twice as much. You understand? So, have I answered that question?
Makes sense.
Yes. The first question about money. We pay our houses and a few of us have built out of this trade. The others are living comfortably. There are a few of them that you have seen on media. I mean, we live in a time where it is so hard for you to hide what has happened to you.
Yeah, true.
Gundi Bamusude out of the house and stuff like that.
You know.
I think you have, there are very few.
Bibao.
Yes, I know Bibao, but there are very few. There are still very few.
Durango Antoine is gundi yachaye gundi.
Ekikulu anti abachawa nabo bajjanga banoonya byabwe.
No, it's
Yes.
good. It's good.
So I don't know if that paints a picture for
the
you.
reason I asked this question is that there's a kid who's watching this podcast, and they badly want to join this space. It's only fair that we give them the right information.
This is the thing, and I don't know if, forgive me if I deviate, really, but not that I don't like the kids. I like the kids. But
The youngins, the young ones, coming for you.
We have been put in a position where Kuddzu, this is Kuddzu, and he's not speaking for the industry, where Kuddzu believes we have gotten it wrong. Child, if you're out there and you want to do what I do, sit down and learn.
From who?
Wait, watch me and learn.
Okay. I'm sorry. No. Don't interrupt.
Watch me and learn. The challenge that we face today is that most of you get into industries and are written off as mediocres, but you are brilliant. The only challenge being that you did not learn through the ranks. You do not know when to place what, where. You understand?
And when.
And when. The best way I can talk about it, and this is for all sectors, is that we have invited kids to the table and accepted them to talk, to contribute. And yet, 3/4 of the time, I don't know, you guys belong to, to the times when we grew up,
Yes.
where they told you that you're meant to be seen, not to be heard. Today you look at it and they're like, abantu abali beeyisa bubi. But go back and notice most of the things that you learned in silence.
You're
By
watching.
just proximity was a good time, was a good time for you to actually.
Funny story.
Yes.
I don't know if it's funny, really. It took me 10 years to be in front of a camera. 10.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like, not intentional, but it just happened. I was like, eh. But when I sat in front of the camera, I didn't need any.
That's when it
Handling.
made sense to you what the 10 years actually were.
Yeah.
And this is me posing a question to all of us out there, especially to the gatekeepers of the creative industry. What are we doing? Because what pains me as Kuddzu is for some people, is for work to be spewed out, and it has the potential to be a masterpiece, but it doesn't live its full time.
Yeah.
Because it was rushed, and because a couple of people sat and told the youngin, kino kituuse tukikole ki? Tukikube tugende.
Is there like an emotional toll to making others happy? Like, because I've seen people who are like, every time after they are done performing, they hate people for like 1 month or 1 week.
Just want to hide.
Agala, business. I'm not there to be. You understand? So it's emotional what? The emotional toll. Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Yes,
in
it does. It's
different
real.
art sectors. So for you, is it there for your guys?
It is.
How do you handle that?
There is an imaginary line between the sidelines and stage, and the fore, and the center stage. The person who is at the front watching you is not supposed to be part of your shenanigan, what's happening to you. So that imaginary line is the difference between what's happening in your life and what's happening now. So
Your life is not on stage.
Exactly. I leave this world, this physical world, for a moment there. I've been part of a play where it was part of the script for me to undress to my undies. Right there, in front of everybody. And it had to happen. So what do you do in that case? Mentally, you're like, okay.
Close it off.
Kuddzu, get out of this place. Yeah? Kuddzu, get out of this place. Pastor Dumba.
Yingira.
So everything that you
Character.
see, everything that you see on that stage, it's not Kuddzu that is doing it. It's Pastor Dumba. So that's what I meant by I leave this world for a bit.
Intentional bipolar.
Exactly.
Performing under stress, like loss, you probably lost a loved one, heartbreak. You're probably evicted, but you have to be at National Theatre.
Yes.
How do you process that?
It happens.
Has it happened to you?
It happens. It hasn't.
Man, can you say, go?
There's not, and I'm still thankful for it. But throwing out of the house also not. But
Heartbreak.
There's heartbreak. That is. What is even
Rampant.
heartbreak? What is even heartbreak?
That would be a punchline, eh?
It would be a
punchline. It would be a punchline. Yes.
Anyway,
So that phone call, but there has been a phone call from the landlord. From the landlord. And they're like, wait. No, but Linda call. But
Linda konga ogenda ku stage. Sina mu bank.
Yes, you're going on stage, and I mean, but it is what it is. So at the end of the day, you get there, you're like, onomukazi na yantamye, onomusajja na yantamye, but there's a job to be done. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. So guys, we're having Kuddzu here, and I'm doing this because I want you back on the show.
Yeah.
I'm asking you guys kindly ask him questions in the comments you feel like he has to answer, so that we.
Anything that you feel we feel like we've left out.
Ask all the questions you want, so that when you have him back, please, we collect all of them, and then he gets to talk about everything. Everything about his sex life. It's creative chaos. Okay? Now, even his body count. Anyway, we're doing this for young people so that they don't make the mistakes we have made. So we kind of talk about them all through. I want you to look there in the camera. Yes. And tell a young creative, who do you need in the comedy world? Who is a creative that you need in the comedy world? Who's somebody that is like, okay, if you have A, B, C, D, you can make it. If you have X, Y, Z, you can make it.
I won't drop names, unfortunately.
Don't drop names, but attributes.
Attributes.
Yes.
Okay, number one, if you're out there and you want to pursue the comedy line, number one is you need people that are not afraid of you. 3/4 of the time, we want to surround ourselves with people who are cheerleaders, as opposed to, I mean, you're going to come up with a line, and you need a person who's going to be able to look at you in the face or in the eyes and say, you understand? So that you need. Two is you need a person who, you need writers. You need writers. I mean, because you are the warhead, sometimes it might be difficult for you to jot down a few things because of your kind of schedule, or probably how preoccupied you are. But you need a person who's here that has an ear for
certain details.
This can work. In the context of Uganda,
Of course.
We need the financial guy.
Count your money.
Not necessarily to count your money. Kubanga with what is it you have at agenda kubala. But to advise you even as much as linebanja tulietaaga sente tuzirye oba nedda zino tuzireke, we can survive without. Because sometimes we are deceived by the ululation out there, by the numbers on our social media platforms, and we think we want to live large. You might actually need a person who tames you and remind you.
And that is a financial guy.
Yeah. I think Alex Mukulu mentioned it in one of the episodes, how his regrets, losses along the journey, how he lost houses to money lenders, houses to wives.
You need a guy who understands money.
In the most brutal way.
Yes. The one who is going to sit and plan for money when it is not there.
Yes.
Even when it is there.
And even when it is there. Ntikati zino zize tusoke tujewo ono tumujemo no mubi nnyo na ajja tukole ekikyamu ono. You understand? And a manager who appreciates
admin and
operations. Who appreciates your value, but more than appreciating your value as the performer, appreciates the value of the money that is paid to you by the client. Because 3/4 of the time, we are booked. Nairo akubanga manager for them, actually, the managers that we do have are collectors, as Zakayos in my mind. Zakayo Muoza. Like, they want to collect from as many bases as possible, even when it seems and feels impossible. You cannot book an event. You're going to be at Kingdom Kampala at 9:30. And then a man is going, what is the farthest place I have gone? And then a man is going to book another event in Kisoro.
Same day.
At 12 p.m. At 12 a.m. rather. I think that is suicide. That is when you start seeing guys driving like they are crazy because they want to
bridge that gap.
Yes, bridge gaps.
What's worse?
I mean, it is okay for a manager to ask Bush Baby for something considerably higher, that you're comfortable, that you're going to come and do your beat at 9:30. Go back home or even to a bar and not have this
that
pressure of banange twali descentes omusajja ekisoro to gain. You're going to kill yourself. And the one thing that I like about the one thing that I like about this whole because you chose comedy, but I want to look at it as largely as the creative field. Man, capital wafali wano.
Protect it.
Yeah.
You understand? Capital of one.
Actually, Moyo Duka, I was with Shiru somewhere, I think in February. And he got an accident, in February, and he survived. But he says, so Moyo Duka, if you're driving a cheap car.
Yes.
I
mean, admire the people that I admire. And this is across the board. I mean, I admire people like Picasso. I sit back and look at people like Shakespeare. To date, I look at Prince, Michael Jackson. Right here, Maddox, Juliana. Guys, Maddox has 13 songs.
That's it.
You understand?
That's his discography.
I don't care how long he sat to make up those 13 songs. Could have been 6 years, 10 years, 12 years. He worked once. As we speak now, Maddox is booked to go and, for lack of a better word, to go and redo work that he did 13 years ago. You understand? As a creative, the more you harness your creativity for it to spew out top-notch quality kind of stuff,
Timeless
the
pieces.
longer you're going to eat. It's not fair. Yes, it's not fair for Maddox to sit at home. Hello? Bambi tubadde tusaba tulina obukadde buna nedda. Bambi tubadde tusaba tulina obukadde butaano. You understand? Bambi tubadde tusaba until he's like oyagala mmeka nti wema temuwezezza mwenda sorry.
Sijja.
And they will. So a man who is getting that amount of payback for his creativity, what rush is he going to be in? You understand? I mean, and even if he got about 3 gigs and he's getting this on a weekly, you understand? But do you notice that there are artists that are slightly younger than Maddox? I'm sorry, it's not a job, but I have to mention it. Are slightly younger than Maddox, bachanoonya content. You understand? You even see them. Hey guys, have you seen this Kawan? Have you seen this Kawan? I think we need to rethink our modus operandi. If you're a young person, you need to think about this. There is a beauty in working once and eating forever.
Machigala. Thank you for gracing us with your time, and we look forward.
I'll do an alcohol on you. Nange munsonyiwe byesoogedde bitavuddeeyo bulungi mu binsonyiwe naye ng'ate ekirala kye njagala mumanye siri muntu wa bulijjo tolirejula enkola ensobi
tolirejula. Okay, guys, please go ahead and like the channel, share, subscribe, and most importantly, because when you subscribe, again, I told you, it makes all this, come alive, and it enables us to break the bank and bring you these amazing stories. And we hope you're loving this, and keep sharing the feedback. We're not immune to feedback. Till the next episode, I guess.
Yep.
We'll catch you then.